clearly, if as a young kid you were attacked by a dog, you're going to have a fear of dogs. I get that.
Get over it.
Baz, are you a therapist?
Yes.
I don't think anybody's ever tried that approach to mental health before. I think that's groundbreaking what Baz has come up with there. Get over it. Look, hold on a minute. Let me write that down.
Because Baz is the best.
Apparently he is, according to all our reviews.
It's because I'm closer to being a dog, that's what it is.
Well, you got short legs and hairy.
Yeah, and I piss up against things, that's what it is.
And there is that story that if people look hard enough is on one of our podcasts where you wipe your ass on the grass as well.
Wow.
Well, people, if you haven't found that one yet, I'm not going to tell you where it is. You're going to have to go and listen to them all. Hello, and welcome to the Mildly Controversial Podcast. Today's a really special one because it's our second birthday. It's 2 years since me and Baz decided to take our lockdown FaceTime chats and put them onto the internet and let all yous lot join in. To celebrate those 2 years, we have got a really special guest today, and it is the first guest we ever had on our podcast 2 years ago. And that guest is Kelly. Hello, Kelly.
Hi.
Hey.
Hello.
2 years ago, you were the first ever guest on our podcast, which is why we brought you back for the second birthday special. I was looking back on a recording of the one that you were on, and I'm going to play it now because two spooky things happen in this video. I think now is as good a time as any to introduce our first ever guest on Lockdown. You know, in 20 years, when we're getting like 10 million viewers every week on this, we're going to look back and go, do you remember who the first guest was?
It'd be a quiz question.
Yeah, exactly. If you are on TikTok, which I know a lot of you are, if you're on TikTok, then a lot of you will know this person. I'm going to put them on now. If you don't know her by sight, you will very shortly know who it is. So here is our special guest. Say hello, everybody, to Kelly. Here's Kelly.
Hi, I'm just doing a TikTok.
Hey!
Oh, blimey.
So, Kelly. The two spooky things that happened in that video were, one, me mentioning that in 20 years' time we were going to say, who was our first guest? We didn't leave it 20 years, we only left it 2. I had no idea that I said that until I looked back on it, having asked you to come back on. And the second spooky thing is that when I was recording that clip from YouTube, Kelly messaged me in the middle of it, and I thought, oh, fuck it, I'll just leave it on.
Sorry, things have been crazy at work.
You must have sensed that I was recording that clip off, screen recording it off YouTube.
Yeah.
And there we go.
The third weird thing is you and I have completely changed our setups to mirror each other's setups.
You look like you've swapped houses from that. And I also have short pink hair in that.
Lots of things have happened in those 2 years.
Jesus.
My first question for you tonight, Kelly, is that in that I've got it written down here because it says in that video you say that you've never been recognised from the internet. The first question is: 2 years later, have you been recognised yet?
Yes, I have.
Yay!
So it's mainly in shops. So I was recognised at the petrol station and in Boots. So yeah, it's when I go to the till, they're usually like, oh, by the way, I follow you on TikTok, and I'm like, oh, great. I was like in Boots, like buying like deodorant and such. I was like, oh, that's great. It was when I was doing the advent calendar videos, and she was like,
right.
I love your advent calendar videos. So that was funny. And then there's a funny story, if I'll tell you this one, is me and Tom were in the Lake District and we were getting a Thai takeaway, and I was outside waiting for the takeaway, and there was a girl and her boyfriend inside, and they were just acting very strange. She was like looking out of the window, she was like very strangely staring at me, didn't know what was going on, and then she started showing her phone to her boyfriend, and I was like, God. I was like, I just kind of got this sense. And then she was like looking again, and then every time I looked, she would like look away. And yeah, Tom was like, she definitely recognises you. So that felt very strange.
You see, I would have thought you'd have been recognised as Charlotte Tilbury because that's where you spend most of your time.
Yeah, to be fair, yeah, that's pretty much. I should just work there, to be honest.
I'm surprised Charlotte Tilbury hasn't recognised you.
Yeah, well, she knows who I am.
Oh, really?
Yeah, I was picked to do one of their first TikTok shop campaigns, and apparently, I don't know how true this is, but she picked me personally. So yeah, there we go.
Oh, look at that, eh? It's been very exciting.
It's been a good 2 years.
I've just immediately jumped into chatting to me mate on the internet again, and I haven't introduced you to people who don't know who you are. So if you are on TikTok, by now you probably know who she is anyway, because if you haven't seen her, you've definitely heard her by now. I'm not going to get you to do that line again. I did that the last time. So I'm like a little performing monkey. You're more than that, Kelly. You're more than just the show me the life hack. But no, Kelly is The Life Bath on TikTok and Instagram. So go and have a look at The Life Bath. We'll give you a good plug there. Kelly does predominantly kind of make-up-y type things. And once a year, sets the internet on fire by getting a new iPhone.
Pretty
much it.
It's like stop an addiction, play with some makeup, buy a load of crap, and then get an iPhone, and the internet goes mad. So yeah, it's pretty much it.
Well, one of the things,
and repeat.
One of the things I wanted to mention was obviously your voice has got outside of TikTok now, so there are thousands of Facebook reels and thousands of Instagram reels with your voice on. I've tagged you in a few of those on occasions where they come up, but there are so many now, and some have been used by people who've got millions and millions of followers.
Oh yeah, definitely. It's crazy when they pop up. It's the impressions. It's funny. It's like people using the sound is like, yeah, okay, but the celebrities that have like impersonated me in videos, that still like boggles my mind. Like there was just even a couple of weeks ago, there was an actress that was in Santa Clarita Diet. She was in Dead to Me. It's just like an American actress. She did this video about going to sleep and it being in London, and then she just did an impression of me in the video, and I was like, it's just crazy, absolutely crazy.
Your voice is officially an actual celebrity.
Yeah. Not me, just my voice.
No, but I remember on the last one I said that at some point you will be somewhere and you're a bit at a bar or something like that, and you just order a drink, and someone will turn around and go, "It's you, isn't it? Say it. Say it."
Yeah. Well, like we did when we met her in Manchester.
Yeah.
I don't remember being a part of that, Baz. I wouldn't have been so horrible.
Just me and Joshua then.
For those that don't recognise Kelly's voice, you will definitely recognise it when I do this.
Show me the life hack that you randomly saw one day that is now an unconscious standard practice in your life. I'll go first.
Oh, there you go. Right, that's enough of that. There's so much more to Kelly than just that, but we had to mention it. We had to mention it because you brought your. We're here to talk to you, but you brought your voice with you, and your voice is the celebrity. So
yeah, exactly.
Do you know what I mean?
Yeah, it's funny. It's just hearing that so many times over and over again, and when people use it, and then you hear the comments, or you look at the comments, and it's just like, oh, I hate this voice. I usually comment and just say, oh, thanks. And like,
I've seen you comment a couple of times. Like someone said, "Oh my God, this voice really grates and I can't get away from it and stuff." And you were like, "Oh, I'm the same." And I just I was commenting underneath, just laughing so much because you're saying, "No, I don't want to hear it either." And it's my voice.
Tom, my husband, usually comments saying, "Try living with her." So yeah, I get trolled by him.
Is show me something that you say a lot around the house?
Yeah.
Show me my breakfast.
Show me.
The second thing I wanted to talk to you about, Kelly, is that you're more. You started podcasting before we did.
I did, yeah. I had a podcast in 2018 when it wasn't cool. When
And well, I'll tell you how I know that, because I had to drive. Somewhere about half an hour today, so I thought I'll listen to Kelly's podcast. So I listened to your podcast with Kim.
Yeah.
And I was going to say, for those that don't know, but nobody knows this, Kim and my wife are very good friends and have known each other for years, went to uni together and all this. And I went to her wedding and everything. Before we even met Kelly through the internet, it's like a real weird kind of small world thing. Because you used to go to one of her running groups, didn't you?
Yeah, that's how I met Kim.
How you met her.
To do some running. So yeah, the podcast was. So I started the podcast because Tom, my husband, was the original. Like he had one back in 2016. He started his, and he became obsessed.
Did he invent podcasts?
Yeah, he invented.
I think he did. He must have done.
So he started a retro gaming podcast and did that for years. And because he doesn't do anything by halves, he became obsessed and bought all the gear and like the mixing desk and everything. So he had all of that. And then I just thought, do you know what? I'm gonna do one. And it was kind of like about mental health. And I interviewed local bloggers and business owners and just talked about kind of like how they deal with life day to day and things. And I loved it, but because people had to come to our house to do it, we then moved house and then the pandemic hit and I just never did a series 2 of it. So it's a bit of a shame, but yeah, I really enjoyed doing it.
It is a big shame because I was listening to that today and you were saying, this is number 8 of 10 and then we're going to have a couple of months off. And then we're going to come back with season 2.
Yeah.
I listened to that today. You promised me a season 2, and that was 4 years ago that you recorded that one.
That's just my.
So you need to get your act in, because I'm not being funny. I'm not being funny, Kelly. But you definitely cannot blame the pandemic anymore because we started ours in the pandemic. So there's definitely no excuse. You need to get back onto it. It was brilliant. I really enjoyed it.
Yeah, it was good. And the reason I loved it as well is because I didn't have to edit it. Tom edited all of it. So all I had to do was record it and then just give it to him to finish it. So it also depends on
That's a bit like Baz does with ours.
Exactly like that,
yes. So, but yeah, I think now I've got lots of ideas, especially with TikTok and knowing people on TikTok. So I think I need some tips from you guys on how to do it virtually rather than being physically sat in a room with someone. But yeah, I do want to start it again.
Yeah, just ask Mike. I have no idea what goes on.
Yeah. If you ask Baz how we do it, he'll just say, well, I just turn up and speak, and then a few days later it's on the internet.
It's like, it's magic.
It is magic, and that magic is me, because I do everything. Right, so no, absolutely, you should definitely do, and I will help you to get it all set up on that. It's dead easy. It's so easy to do it now. You did it when it was difficult. There's no excuse to not do it now because it's so much easier. So it's come to the time of the evening, Kelly, where we're going to ask you for your controversial opinions because. Obviously, it's a mildly controversial podcast. We need you to give us some mildly controversial opinions, and Baz and I will decide whether they are approved or rejected by the official mildly controversial podcast. Okay.
So I apologize if these are very uninteresting completely. You might just like skip over this part of the podcast, but so I've picked a few. So how many have I got? 1, 2, 3, 4. I've got 5 of them. So if you want me to all of them,
there's bound to be 3 we can use out of that, Kelly. Even you're not that shit.
You never know.
Let's see what you got.
So okay. So my first mildly controversial opinion is that Game of Thrones is crap and massively overrated.
We'll wait. That's your opening statement. I want you to explain, and then Baz and I will chip in.
Okay, so there's not really much to explain apart from the fact that I think people think that it's so much better than it is. There's programs that are just as good that have came out that didn't get the notoriety of Game of Thrones, and I think the storylines are just like boring and it's just pointless.
Okay, I would like. I'll contribute to the debate by saying that I've never watched an episode of Game of Thrones.
So your opinion is going to be good.
so I can't. I can't join you and say you're right. It's shit and it's overrated. But I was. Emma and I have been watching The Last of Us. I don't know if you guys have been watching that, but it's the latest.
But don't tell me.
I won't tell you anything. We've just caught up, so it's on. It's on Sky Atlantic, and we've just caught up, and we watched the one on Monday when it goes out. So the only experience I've got of Game of Thrones is the 10 minutes that was on before The Last of Us on Monday, and it was is he called Peter Dinklage or is that his name? Yeah. There we go.
Yeah.
Oh, I wish that was a quiz question.
Tyrion Lannister he plays.
There you go. So that's all I've got, I'm afraid. That I know the guy off Elf's in it. So
I'm guessing that Baz is a big fan. Say, does he know the name of the characters, or have you just seen it?
No, so I'm not a huge fan. I came to it really late. In fact, I watched it on discs that people had lent me. But the thing about it is, it's one of those things.
That sounds like you came to it in the 1990s, Baz.
What I'm saying is, the first couple of series were available on disc, weren't they? So anyway, someone lent it to me on that, so we sort of caught up. The thing about it is, I partly agree with you. It's one of those things. It's become a bit of folklore before it was even kind of like made, because it's from a series of books, isn't it? But I think the thing is, once it started getting made and started adding loads of big actors, that's where it started to get a bit of traction. I will say though, sorry if you haven't seen the last series. The last series is fucking awful. It's like so bad.
So I only went like a few series, and then I started skipping through the episodes because I was just like, I just can't deal with this, because I just wanted to like see who died and things. I just had to know the plot. And then I've heard, I didn't watch the last series, and everyone said that it was terrible. But I just didn't see the hype. I don't know whether it was something that just came out at the time and it was a product of its time, and if I'd watched it right at the beginning, I would have kind of got swept up in it as well. But by the time I watched it, I must just say, this is just like any other Netflix show that came out. Like, it's just not interesting.
I think where it did do well, it had loads of sex in it. Always works in programmes.
Yeah,
I didn't know that. I'd have watched it otherwise.
Yeah, but sometimes it's between brothers and sisters, which it's not.
A lot of the time it's between brothers and sisters.
Yeah,
is it?
There, and it's like, no.
I had no idea it was set in Rochdale.
Or Devon.
And that's a joke. That's a joke that 55% of our audience will not understand, because they're from the United States of America. I was going to say Google Rochdale, but probably best you don't.
You just say Alabama, can't you?
I'm going to have to go to our stats now, Baz, and find out how many followers we've got in Alabama, because they're all gone now.
Well,
lost us a big chunk there. Okay, so in terms of judging this one, in summary, you say that it's overrated and you don't like it. I don't really know. Baz said it's good, but the back end of it was rubbish. So on balance, it's heading towards being accepted. So heading towards being bad. So heading towards being accepted as and approved. And since if it gets anywhere close, I have the casting vote. You're my lovely friend, and you're the guest on the show, so I'm going to say it's absolutely approved, rubber stamped, and there it is. So officially, Game of Thrones is overrated.
Fantastic.
I'd say on this one, I'm waiting for the comments when this goes out, because it's going to cause controversy.
There's going to be a big fight in the comments.
I'm not reading the comments. Right, that might have been the only interesting one, to be honest, that I've got.
Kelly. I'm going to have to stop you there, okay? You're going to have to start your podcast again and have yourself on as the first guest and talk to yourself about self-belief. Okay.
Self-talk, right? Okay,
yes.
That's fine. We'll do it.
Hi, and welcome to the Life Bath podcast. We haven't done an episode for 4 years, but we're so excited to be back. My first guest this week is Kelly.
It's me. I'm just going to talk to myself. I'm quite happy doing that, so it's fine. I love it. The thing is, with when I was trying to think of these, is that I have conversations with myself, so I was like coming up with something that was like mildly controversial, and then like my head would go, well, no, I don't agree with you because of this, and I was like, I just having the conversation with myself in my own head. So yeah,
quite often, Kelly, the ones that don't seem controversial turn out to be the most controversial. One of the most controversial ones we had was about biscuits. So
this is actually my next one. So my next one is that dark chocolate digestives are better than milk chocolate digestives.
The internet's going to go mad.
I want you to plead your case on that one. I know. It's literally you've just said a sentence, but
Yeah. So my case is the fact that dark chocolate is nicer than milk chocolate. Pretty much.
Okay.
There's not a lot of explaining on that one, apart from the fact that they're nicer. And dark chocolate's slightly better for you than milk chocolate. I mean, the digestives and it's still full of sugar, but they're slightly better for you than milk chocolate. That's the base I'm going on.
health food. Is that what you're saying? I'm surprised you don't sell them in
really
Holland and
healthy.
Barrett's, to be honest. It's slightly healthier. Right, for a start, I'm not having that bit. Okay, I'm not a massive fan of dark chocolate. I'll like, full disclosure, so that is going to obviously taint my opinion on this one. Yeah, I'm not a huge fan. I really like milk chocolate. Don't eat a lot of it, but I do much prefer it to. I don't like the bitterness of dark chocolate. And also another reason I've talked myself into a rage again, which is normally what happens on here. But another gripe I've got with dark chocolate is it's got the same snobbery about it as like craft beers and wine, where people think, when people go like, oh God, you're not eating that shit, are you? Oh God, no. I only eat stuff, if it's not 80% cocoa, I'm not interested. I'm just like, oh, piss off. Do you know what I mean?
If I go around someone's house and they've only got dark chocolate digestives, I'm not turning them down. So, like, as it turns out, I prefer, if I had a choice, if there were two different ones on the plate, I'd go for the milk ones, but it's still chocolate as far as I'm concerned. It's still a biscuit. So, yeah, I'm having it.
Yeah.
Okay, so in terms of trying to get to a judgment here, Baz, Kelly said that dark chocolate are better than milk chocolate. You've just said that if you had them side by side, you would pick the milk chocolate. So you're saying that milk chocolate is better than dark chocolate ones.
Yeah.
And I am going to weigh in with my vote and say that the milk chocolate digestives are better, and this one is denied. Kelly, you can take your Ponzi dark chocolate digestives and piss off.
Right. Fine.
Next.
So my next one, I mean, this one contradicts myself as well, but people that drink gin only do it because it's trendy.
Ooh.
Okay.
But before I stopped drinking, that's all I drank was gin. So.
And did you drink it because it was trendy?
I only started drinking it because it was trendy.
So, this is your evidence. So, you said you were contradicting. You're not contradicting at all. You've just said that people only drink gin because it's trendy. And you went on to explain that before you gave up drinking, you only drank gin before it's trendy. Now, I'm not accepting your sample size of one as evidence that is the case for everybody. But you haven't contradicted yourself at all. You've made a good case for it on that one. Mine on this is that gin is my spirit of choice. I don't drink spirits very often, but gin and now spiced rum, thanks to Baz grooming me on spiced rum.
Yay.
I'll probably have to bleep that word out as well. But yeah, those are my two. But gin was always the one, and back when it wasn't like it is now, with 100 different gins and 100 different tonics and 100 different things. It's like you get more options when you get a gin and tonic in a bar now. There's more options than if you have a 99. Do you know what I mean? Of what you want in it. It's like
well, that's
peppercorns and cucumber and this and that. I was like, what?
Yeah, you go into a bar and you ask for a gin and tonic, and they just look at you like, what? Like, we've got 20, like, and they like sarcastically will say, well, which one do you want? Like, we've got 50 of them, and you're like, I don't know, something like raspberry. All right, okay, that's fine. Now, what type of tonic? And you're like, I don't know, what have you got? What have we got? What have we not got? And you're like, oh, just pour us a gin and tonic. Like,
Pretend you weren't so much of a knob and just make me a drink.
Yeah.
Do that for us, will you?
Yeah. So it's just become it's just like gin bars and everything are just a trend.
So the whole thing of like all these different ones, because I'm convinced that unless it's flavoured and stuff, I get you can tell the difference between those. But you've got a rack of about 15 different gins, and as some company advertises, I think it's Fever Tree says, like 3/4 of it's the tonic. So you can put all of those. If you put a shit tonic with it, then it's going to be a shit drink. Or the fact is that I challenge anybody other than proper, like, people who buy gin for supermarkets will know the difference.
Yeah.
But I bet loads of other people don't. I'll probably have to say this again to Clara. We're going to have Clara on in a few weeks, who is releasing a book called Gin and Phonics, and she's actually making her own gin as we speak. She's literally making a gin to launch. So I'll have this same conversation with her. And if you're watching this after the one with Clara, and I've just been a total pussy and gone, oh yeah, I think it's really clever that you've come up with a different flavour for gin, right? I make no apologies for that either. So Baz, what are your thoughts on gin and tonic, my friend?
So you say it's trendy, but like I remember, as probably you do, Mike, being a slight bit older than Kelly, is the fact that gin at one point, that's it a little bit.
A little bit.
Gin, like, was literally an unpopular drink about, say, 15, 17 years ago. I remember being in quite a sort of trendy bar in Milton Keynes about that time. And I stood at the bar and I just got myself a lager. And some young lad walks in, probably about 20, and said, "Go, can I have a gin and tonic?" And while he was waiting, I said, "Oh, is your nan coming in?" to him. Because at the time, that's literally what it was. And at that time, you only had Gordon's and Bombay Sapphire, which was the premium one, and some other shit gin. Yeah. But the point is now, like as Mike says, there's 5 million of them. So I think it's become that thing where, like you say, the whole thing of having it in a giant fishbowl with like rock, with the rockery and plants in it, just completely turns me off it. And as it turns out, it's not gin I don't like; it's tonic.
Yeah, it is. Yeah, gin and lemonade. If people have gin and lemonade, but that proves my point is that it was like that cheesy like drink that your nan would have, or alcoholics would drink it, and then someone made it trendy, and then everyone decided that they drank gin and tonic, including me.
I mean, kids drank it in Victorian times, didn't they, Baz?
Yes, we did.
I agree with the whole thing that gin's got far too poncy. I do occasionally drink gin and tonic, but that's not because I think it's cool. Because there's very few things I do that make me look cool. So drinking gin is definitely not going to work. I've been drinking gin since my early 20s. So I've just turned into one of those idiots who's just like, oh well, I was into that band before they got famous, and I'm like that, but with gin. Anyway, motion carried, officially approved.
Hey.
Go.
Stop drinking Ponzi gin because you think it makes you look cool. It doesn't.
There we go. 2 out of 3.
Here we go. Next.
So, my next one. This might be the most controversial one, and this is also tongue-in-cheek a joke, but anyway. Money can buy happiness.
Motion carried, officially approved, absolutely. It can do.
It can. When I was trying to think of this today, I was like, right, okay. And I was like, people say money can't buy happiness. But I was like, I'm sorry, but if I don't want to be a millionaire, but if right now I didn't have to pay a mortgage, didn't have all my bills, didn't have absolutely everything, and I had a bit of money in the bank to go on holiday, I just don't think I would be sad. Like, chemically, people can chemically be sad. Yes, I understand depression, and I've had that in the past. But right now in my life, if I had money paid off, I just don't think I would be sad.
And do you know what? You started off, and we all started off being quite kind of flippant about it and saying, money can buy you happiness. We were like, yeah, absolutely, it can. And then you went in to explain it, and your explanation was exactly right and exactly what I was going to go on to, which is... money can't technically buy you happiness, but it can remove a lot of the things that make you sad, and by default makes you a lot happier than you were, because it could take away stress, it could take away worry, it could take away, if if somebody gets seriously ill and you can afford for private healthcare and not have to wait, not have to worry, poof, straight away, get it done. And there are lots and lots of things that lots of opportunities it can provide. And yes, it does come with problems, or it can come with problems. But not being skint is better than being skint.
Yeah.
To put it into a North Manchester parlance, but it's...
Yeah. It was tongue-in-cheek. It's not like, yes, money can't, solve illnesses and stuff like that. But it's just, if I didn't have a mortgage to pay and I lived in my house, I think I would be less stressed. And I would probably, if I could pay my electricity bill, I'd be a little bit less stressed. So I think I would then be a little bit happier.
Well, I'm like you, Kelly. I like shopping, so it makes me really happy. So straight away, I'm saying money can make me. Yeah, having money makes me happy.
I'll just buy more shit. Yeah.
I really like shopping as well, but not like clothes shopping. I do enjoy clothes shopping. Don't get me wrong, but he says wearing a shirt he's had for 25 years, which, by the way, is absolutely excellent.
Incredible.
But yeah, thanks. There was literally. Quite often I think a lot about what I'm going to wear for the podcast. I don't know why, because nobody notices. But yeah, there was literally no decision on this one, because it's like it's a special occasion. The red ruffle shirt's coming out. But yeah, I love shopping, and even just anything. I'm not even talking about. I love spending money. I think even rather than shopping.
Oh, yeah.
I just love going out and buying stuff. And I just like having things, and
I mean that could be construed as a lot of internalized trauma, and we could start getting really deep into why I have a shopping addiction. It's not really good,
and it could be, but it makes you feel happier anyway. You know what I mean?
I need the dopamine hit.
Exactly. No, there is a lot of that stuff, but I think like I say, to say that money can't buy you happiness. I think it's nonsense. Money can... Okay. Might need to dial it down a little bit to get universal approval. To say money... No, we're going to rack it back up again when we vote. Don't worry about that. But I'm just explaining to people that... just reiterating what we said is that money takes away a lot of things... Money can take away a lot of things that make you sad.
Yeah.
Yeah? Or make you stressed, or make you worry, or... give you anxiety and things like that. And I'm not saying that having money is a cure for anxiety, because I know people who've got a filthy amount of money who are going through mental health problems, okay? So I do, before anyone says it, but feel free to fill the comment section, by the way, and bump this up and get it out there to everyone. That's how the internet works. So comment loads and stuff, even if you disagree with what we say. So I do know that there are loads of people. I know some people who are just, multimillionaires who are unhappy and things like that. So I know that at face value, money can't buy you happiness and things like that. But in general, across the full spectrum of the population, I firmly believe that if people at the lower end had more money, they would worry less and therefore be more happy.
Yeah, I should really change it to money can buy me happiness.
yeah. Us.
Yeah.
Me and Baz are in.
You can buy me happiness because I'm skint and I want some more money, like everyone, and other people deserve money to be happy.
There are probably people, in fact, there are definitely people who deserve money more than I do, but I still want it. So, so if you do want to go to buymeacoffee.com/mildlypod and send some money to me and Baz, we will massively appreciate it, and we will be less sad.
There's a reason why so many walls in this country all around the world are filled with massive TVs, because that makes people happy. Do you know what I mean?
It does.
TV makes me happy. I to be fair, as long as I could pay the electricity bill and just had Netflix, I would be happy.
That was the easiest approval I think we've ever had on the show. So absolutely yes.
Yes, this is my last one.
Oh, Kelly, what's your last one? I mean, you've got so let's just do a recap. I mean, we're going to do a recap now, Kelly, which should fill you with confidence that none of them have been shit so far, because if I'm going to do a recap, it doesn't make sense if I cut one of them out.
You haven't cut any of them out yet.
So, it means that I'm going to use them all, so congratulations on that. So I think we're at 3 approved, 1 rejected.
Yeah, I think so. Yeah,
Okay,
did
let's
well.
see if you can make it a 4-1.
Okay. So this last one, I love how I keep having a caveat with like these are all a joke, but anyway.
Kelly, on every single one of these, you've judged it before we've had a chance to. That's our job, all right? You just say it and we judge it. That's how it works.
Right. People that don't like dogs can't be trusted.
100%. There you go. Done.
Kelly. Yeah, it's like...
I don't just mean like they that don't own a dog. Like people cannot own a dog, and people are like, nah, yeah, dog. But people that like say that they dislike dogs, I just don't think they can. Or like, or even scared of dogs. Sorry, people that have actual genuine fears of dogs, but they're just so cute that I just don't understand it. So it's like if you don't like dogs, I can't comprehend it. I can understand not wanting to own a dog, fair enough, but not liking dogs, just can't comprehend it.
I agree. I'm gonna throw in a couple of things that I know from people who don't like dogs. Like if clearly as a young kid you were attacked by a dog, you're gonna have a fear of dogs. I get that.
Get over it.
Baz, are you a therapist?
Yes.
I don't think anybody's. I don't think anybody's ever tried that approach to mental health before. I think that's groundbreaking what Baz has come up with there. Get over it. Look, hold on a minute. Let me write that down.
Luna down. Anyone, Luna could turn anyone.
just in case I'm having a bad day. Baz, get over it. Right. Okay. But yeah, I do get that one. My brother doesn't like dogs. He's not into dogs just because you've got.
You own a dungeon as well, and like something not right there.
It's because he doesn't like that they shit in the garden and all that kind of stuff. But
that's different. So he doesn't need to own a dog. That's what I'm saying. Yeah. You don't have to own a dog.
Yeah,
you just have to like dogs if you're in their presence. Yeah. And not be like, oh, I don't like get it. I don't like dogs. Like, no, sorry.
Look, yeah, so I've done those two because I can kind of see from that point, but I'm so far away from those people anyway. I love dogs. Okay, I'm a massive dog person. Dogs are better than cats. We're not even having that argument.
Dogs are better than humans.
Yeah.
The dogs are better than humans, to be fair, but not as important. We've been through this, Baz. They are better, but not as important. Which is a debate we had earlier about like
that's a very good debate. Yeah, I get that.
It's true. They're not as important as humans, but they are better.
Yeah.
So all of that, and you know the things that as a 48-year-old man, there are a group of dogs that just turn me into an emotional wreck, and I call them dogs with jobs.
Oh yeah.
So it's when I see a guide dog or an assistance dog or a hearing dog for the deaf or a friend of ours who we met through this has got a massive Alsatian. Tina, we'll give her a shout out because she bought us 5 drinks the other week, Baz. So there's another reason why we love her. But no, Tina's been on our podcast twice, and Tina suffers from epilepsy, and she's got her massive German Shepherd alerts her when she's going to have a seizure, and when she's about to have a seizure, gets underneath her and protects her and makes sure she doesn't harm herself and things.
They're incredible.
Honestly, I get really emotional when I think of that, and I just think all dogs are amazing, right? All dogs are amazing. My dogs are brilliant, but my dogs are useless compared to those ones. I still love them. So look how much I love other dogs more than my own. Do you know what I mean?
Yeah, I'm like that. Luna's, and I honestly think that Luna could have been a police dog with how well she sniffs things out, but she would have needed to have just been a 9-to-5 police dog. She wouldn't have done well with sleeping in a kennel or anything like that. She just needed to have just gone out to a job and then came home at 5. So because of she's useless in every other way, but she could sniff anything out.
You mentioned that. Oh, we've got a shipment that's just come in. We need the sniffer dog to come in. It was like, I'm sorry, she's on holiday in the lakes.
Yeah, so it's just.
I think she's back on the 10th.
Yeah, no.
If you can fit
On the
her in
holidays
then.
there, she's got it. Yeah, there's no way. She only works 9 to 5. Doesn't work weekends.
I've just realised that I do absolutely love dogs. Yeah, all dogs. But yeah, there are times where I could literally just throw mine to somebody and just go like, "You have them then," because
That's your dog now.
Yeah, exactly. The two of these, they're honestly, they're just like, because we've got two now, and luckily we live on a cul-de-sac, so there's only 2 houses beyond ours, so we don't get that many people coming past, and I think that's probably one of the reasons why they go absolutely apeshit when somebody does.
Yeah.
Things my dogs don't like: cats milling about. Right, they'll kick off with that, which is understandable. It's I've seen Tom and Jerry. That's how it works. And before people say that Tom and Jerry were a cat and a mouse, and there was a dog in there as well, that's what I meant.
Butch.
There
Butch.
you go, Butch. Thanks, Baz. See, Kelly, what happens with Baz, right? Baz will sit there and not contribute at all to a podcast. And then he'll just throw something like that and he'll say, yeah, he can come again next week. They don't like people in high-vis jackets, and they don't like kids enjoying themselves, apparently.
Wow.
Because there's the lady across the street's got 7 kids, and they're always playing about in the street, and our dogs hate it. So all of those things, right? So and there's a nursery at the top of the street, and occasionally they'll just bring the kids down the street just for a walk, just to get them like a bit of exercise and stuff. But they have to wear high-vis jackets, so the dogs are going, hold on a minute, so, humans, high-vis jacket, child, there's just so many things to bark at now, and they go fucking nuts at them, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
So there are times when I love my dogs a little bit less, but in general...
Yeah. I mean, they're a total pain in the arse, and it's the hardest thing I've ever done owning a dog, but still don't trust people that don't like them.
I think it's funny that like you could so if you walk do you walk your dogs in regular places? Do you so you'll end up meeting the same people week in, week out. You'll never know their fucking names, but you'll know their dogs' names. And when you see them in the morning, you'll talk to the dog by its name, and then you go, all right, see you later, unnamed person with a dog.
I mean, I don't even acknowledge the owner. Like, I'll just be like, "Oh, hi," and then I'll just like walk away. It's just like I am only interested in your dog, and that is it. I don't care about anything else.
I wondered where you were going there, Baz, when you said, do you walk your dogs in regular places? I think you meant, do you regularly walk your dog in the same place?
Yeah,
I was like, do you walk your dog in regular places? No, we usually take it to a swimming pool and walk it on the bottom of the pool.
We'll walk around the moon.
No, we do that thing, when they walk on the hot coals and that. Our dog loves that thing.
Well, thanks for deciphering that for everybody.
Sometimes Baz's sentences are a bit like a word game.
Yeah.
You've got to kind of rearrange them to get the right meaning. But I need to remember that most of the people watching on Facebook love Baz. So me being jokingly even cruel to Baz, I think I might be. I need to pipe down a bit, otherwise I'll get.
Because Baz is the best.
Apparently he is, according to all our reviews.
It's because I'm closer to being a dog, that's what it is.
Well, you got short legs and hairy.
Yeah, exactly.
There you go.
Yeah, and I piss up against things, that's what it is.
And there is that story that if people look hard enough is on one of our podcasts where you wipe your ass on the grass as well.
Wow.
Well, people, if you haven't found that one yet, I'm not going to tell you where it is. You're going to have to go and listen to them all. Okay, so we'll summarise that then, Kelly. So, I think that's 4 out of 5. You've done very, very well there. Excellent.
There we go.
We also don't trust people who don't like dogs.
Yeah.
So, excellent. Right. The last thing that I wanted to do is, I was thinking about how we could mark the fact that this is our birthday. This is the podcast's second birthday. And how do you have fun on a birthday? The first thing I thought was karaoke, but clearly, clearly, I can see you shaking your head now, so it's
Not
a good
a chance.
idea. But no,
You wouldn't have any listeners left if I was.
but also we can't use music anyway because there'll be a copyright strike, and we'd get booted out. So we can't do that. Even if we did it a cappella, Baz's singing voice is so exceptional that it would sound like the original recording, and we would get kicked off anyway.
Only take that.
So, so the next thing I thought of was a quiz.
Oh yeah.
So
this is how
we're
we all
going to
met.
do a quiz. Old school quiz. So to fill people in who've only followed Baz and I recently, I used to do a quiz on TikTok on a regular basis. Baz has been on a number of times. Kelly's been on a number of times, and it's always good fun. So we're going to finish with a quiz. So Baz, I'm going to ask you questions on a certain subject, and I'm going to ask Kelly questions on a certain subject, right? And I've been kind to you, right? Because I've chosen your specialist subjects, the subjects you know most about, right? So Kelly, I'm going to ask you questions about the US sitcom Friends.
Perfect.
Okay.
We know you love Friends.
I know you're a big fan of Friends. You know a lot about it. So I've got some quite tricky questions, but I think you're up to it. Baz, I'm going to ask you questions on your specialist subject, the mildly controversial podcast.
Fucking knew it.
Oh, you saw that coming a mile off, didn't you, pal? Baz, I'm going to ask you your question first.
Here we go.
In the first ever episode of this podcast, what drink did I unsuccessfully turn into a daiquiri?
I can only look. Like, you know, cards on the table. We were both so pissed in that first ever episode. I don't even remember when we finished it. That's how pissed I was.
That's why it's not even online anymore. I was so embarrassed I deleted it.
And I'm gonna take a stab in the dark and go that you went for Buckfast.
Baz, you've got it. That's
Oh my god!
It's the only drink I can remember.
It was a Buckfast. We were trying drinks we'd never had before, and I decided that because my family is all Scottish, both my parents are Scottish, I thought that it was my birthright that I should try Buckfast, and it was awful. So I asked Emma to turn it into a daiquiri, and that was just more awful. So yes, that is the one. So I'm pretty sure it's been deleted from the tube. So yeah, sorry you can't watch that. Okay, Kelly, your first question is: which of the main characters did Pat the dog belong to in real life? I told you
that's not about Friends, though. That's about real life. I don't know anything about real life.
But it's also about I knew, because you are such an expert on Friends, I knew I had to make the questions tricky.
Okay.
It's a 1 in 6, to be fair.
Jennifer Aniston, because I know she owns a lot of dogs.
And you are correct.
Yay!
Look at this, it's 1-1. Right, Baz, your next question. The guest on our first ever audio podcast was a man who rescues kidnapped children from foreign countries. If you haven't listened to that one, it's very, very
Downgrade
interesting.
to me.
Not at all, Kelly.
Absolutely waffle.
So, what was the name of the man who rescues kidnapped children from foreign countries?
While you're asking that question, I've been literally searching the back of my brain. And as you know, that's quite an empty void. Oh, God. I can remember who was on the same week as him. That's not going to help, is it?
No, that isn't the question. Let me just check. Nope, that's not the question, Baz.
Do you know what? I'm really sorry if you ever... Mind you, he doesn't listen to anything we do anymore. I can't remember. I'm not going to lie.
Is he unfollowed you, Baz?
Oh,
fuck him.
I don't know.
Right. He's called Jay Jordan.
Jay Jordan, there you go. He's like the real life Jason Bourne.
That's the you remembered what I called the episode then, yeah? An actual real life hero, but Baz couldn't be arsed remembering his name.
Oh, damn it.
Right. Kelly, what was the name of Ross and Chandler's band back in college?
Oh, God's sake.
These are tough ones. I'm not giving you a free pass here. You know what I mean? I did think about giving you really easy questions on Friends just to make Baz look even more stupid.
Yeah, but he realises you don't need any help.
Exactly. In the end, I decided I probably don't need to, so I'll just give you both toughish questions.
Nah, it's not even in there. I wouldn't have a clue.
It's way, no way. Oh, sorry, way, no way. Or way, now way.
Way, no way. Yeah.
I can tell you Chandler's haircut.
yeah, I know exactly. I can picture it. I know exactly what they all look like. But yeah.
Okay. So, Baz, who was the first guest to share their mildly controversial opinions after the change of name and format?
Phil Carr.
Phil Carr is correct. That one was much easier. Okay, Kelly. Which word did Rachel misspell on her resume?
Oh, this is really annoying.
That's what quizzes.
It will be if Baz beats you in this quiz, because that's not what was supposed to happen.
Yeah, that don't think. It's the first one of the first series. Nah, I don't know.
It was the word computer.
Oh, yeah.
Okay, right, on
James
to Baz.
I'm going to have to rewatch it all again for the 15th millionth time. 15th million? That's not a thing, is it?
15 millionth. I think the TH goes at the end, but it's all right.
So you're good company, Kelly, with me, so it's fine.
Exactly. Makes more sense than most stuff Baz says. Okay, so Baz, your fourth question is, in the episode where Rick told his life story, what age was he when he got his driving licence and how did he get it? Half point for each.
I think he was 13 and he paid for it.
Wow.
I've listened to lots of other episodes, I'm not going to lie.
Wow. That is correct. He was 13 and he paid a policeman for it. Correct.
Wow.
So yeah, again, if you want to go and listen to or watch the episode where we had Rick on the show, then yeah, that's probably the least interesting thing that Rick told us. Okay, so Kelly, we're on to question 4, and I'm
This isn't
regretting
going
what
to
I've done right
plan.
now.
This isn't going to plan.
It's definitely not going to plan.
Yeah.
What's the name of the lipstick brand for men that Joey starred in a Japanese advert for?
No, literally, these are
I'm so sorry.
These are like mastermind questions.
They're harder than mastermind questions.
They were deliberately tough. I got a tough friends questions thing. It's called Ichiban.
Ichiban.
Yeah, of course it is.
Ichiban. Sorry, Kelly, but
just say Ichiban, and then Mike can edit this in afterwards.
Oh, yeah. I think it's Ichiban.
Correct. Excellent. Well done, Kelly. So it's 3-2. I'll leave all that in, but I'm still going to give you a point.
Also, just quickly shout computer.
Yeah.
No, it's too late. Look, I can't be asked editing that back in from that far ago, Baz. Right. Okay, the next question is worth 5 points, Baz, because there are 5 answers to it.
Ooh.
Okay. Name our last 5 guests on the very podcast that you are currently on.
Right. So, what, including Kelly or not including Kelly?
Not including Kelly. You're not getting a point for tell me the names of the people you can see. I'm not going to give you a point for that, Baz.
Right, the last 5. Let's go back to the last one. Do you want them in order? Can I have them in any order?
Any order.
Right, so we've had Laurie Knox.
Incorrect.
Oh, what are we doing?
That's a good start.
The last 5. Oh.
I don't know what order you were going for, Baz, but it's not the right order.
Joshua Cubed.
That's not correct. I said the last 5.
Yeah, I know. Doesn't make any difference to me.
Okay.
Trying to think of the order we had people in. Let's go for Dana Pereira.
Correct.
Oh, that was a lucky one.
That was a lucky one. That was literally the last episode, Baz.
Doesn't make any difference to me. We also have had Lawrence Prestige.
It's incorrect. You've got one more guess, Baz.
Oh, God. You can edit out the big pause here, can't you?
Oh, I will.
How bad is this? Oh, Zach.
Zach Umperovic. Congratulations, Baz. You got 2 of the 5. Now, here's an interesting thing. The ones you identified as being amongst the last 5 guests we've had on the podcast, Baz, were Dana Pereira, correct, and Zach Umperovic, correct, which were the last 2 we've had on.
Go me.
The 3 before that included Super Lit Mario,
Oh, God. All right, now why, you dickhead?
which you didn't get, and my wife and your wife, Baz.
The answer's Tottenham, Mike.
Your actual wife. If you'd have said the name of your actual wife, you would have got a point in this quiz. You didn't, therefore you don't. Oh, so I do apologise, Kelly, for making the Friends questions really hard, but I think you might catch up on this one now.
Please
That's
do.
fine.
Because your question for 5 points is: name the 5 characters with the most appearances after the main 6.
Oh,
So the main 6 were in every episode.
Yeah.
What are the next 5?
So Gunther will be one of them.
That's correct.
Who else?
Just for people who are looking for stats, Gunther was in 185 of the episodes. I'll just fill a gap while you're thinking, because I'm on your side, Kelly. Come on.
Oh, who could it be?
I'm going to edit out the massive pauses where you two are thinking. You're going to seem much cleverer than you actually are in real life, just for the sake of this podcast not being 3.5 hours long.
There you go. So, Janice
Is correct.
Must be one.
shout.
Yeah.
19 episodes.
Who else would have been in loads? Would have been the family members, like Monica and Ross's mum and dad, Jack and Judy.
Correct and correct. She's on a roll now.
What other family members would have been in it? I literally wouldn't have a clue anymore.
Who's Phoebe's brother?
Paul.
Phoebe's brother.
Well, no, I'm going to say Paul Rudd. Paul Rudd, because he was married to her and he was in a few episodes, but I don't know whether he.
What was his
would have
character's
been-
name?
Mike. Banana.
Correct! 5 out of 5!
Yeah.
Thank you so much, Kelly. And thank you, Baz. And thank you, Baz, for having the memory of a goldfish, because this is
There we
now
go.
turned into what it should have been. Okay, but it's not all over, because Kelly is on 7 points, Baz is on 5, and we've now got a point. We've now got the last 5 questions. I'm going to ask to you both.
Oh,
I've not really worked out how this works, so maybe I'm just going to pour myself another drink while I think about it.
can't we just announce Kelly's the winner already?
Like
No,
on the radio where they get 2 callers to like shout their name really quickly.
I think it might have to be that. I'm just having to think of. I can mute Baz's microphone actually.
You don't need to.
No, okay, so yeah. I'll tell you what. I can see you both. Put your hand up if you know the answer. All right,
Oh, hang on.
or put your hand up if you want to guess. Okay, so in the second episode of our podcast, which you've just seen a clip of, because Kelly, you were on it. Don't go, oh my god, how
Okay.
will I know that? You were on it. That's kind of
that
the point
was-
of why you're on here now tonight.
It was 2
That
years ago.
doesn't
I don't
bode
remember
well, does
what I
it?
did yesterday. I have no idea.
Okay,
I don't know
so
what I did
in the
before I
second.
started recording this podcast. Like, I don't know what I did 2 years ago.
In the second episode, which you've both just seen a clip of,
Okay.
what was Baz drinking in the clip that you've both just seen? Baz first.
I think I was drinking a lager.
That's incorrect.
Well, there you go.
I'm going to give Kelly a massive clue. Kelly, it was exactly 2 years ago.
Oh, he was drinking a Guinness.
He was drinking a pint of Guinness, correct. Well done, Kelly.
Yeah.
And to be fair, I did give Kelly a clue, but there was still a huge amount of working out to do left in that
It
one.
was, yeah. My brain didn't work that one out.
No, you've done very well there. Okay.
Well done.
So, in the same episode, Mike, that'll be me, did an experiment. What did he try to do? This will definitely test your memory because it was 2 years ago. It's not 2 years ago for me because I watched it this afternoon.
I'll have a guess. Was it
Go on, Baz.
you tried to get the intro right 15 times?
No, that wasn't 2 years ago. That's every single episode, Baz. That's the secret I told you never to tell on the podcast as well.
I have no memory.
You will when I tell you. Unfortunately, neither of you get the point. It's I tried to turn wine into champagne using a soda stream.
Oh, yes.
I don't remember that.
You still don't remember that, Kelly?
I remember it now.
Kelly, you went all like health and safety on me. It's like, be really careful, Mike. Honestly,
I've done that though. I put wine in a. Is that why we did I talk about? Because I remember doing it.
no. That's not why you did it. But you did say that you'd already done it, and that's why I needed to be careful.
It exploded everywhere. So yeah.
There you go. Okay, so neither of you get the point on that one. Oh well.
Is that one still available?
That one is still available.
Yeah, go and watch that, kids.
Yeah, go and watch it on the tube and subscribe while you're there.
Like and subscribe.
Okay. Later in that, do all the subscribey shit. That's what we call it over here. Because I drunkenly said that one night, and I just thought, that's brilliant. That's better than anything that's ever been said sober. Right, so, later in that same episode, what did we find out that Baz and Kelly have in common related to food?
Go on.
I don't know.
Kelly put her hand up. Baz tried to go without pressing the buzzer.
I don't know what would have in cup. Like, I don't know. Don't eat dairy. That's the only thing.
Incorrect.
So do I get a free shot at this?
Yeah.
I'm going to go for Marmite.
That's incorrect also. The correct answer is that you both shouldn't eat pizza due to food allergies, but you still do.
Well, that's the. Like,
We've got a yeast allergy. We've got a yeast allergy and a wheat allergy. Neither of you should be eating pizza, but you still do.
It's because pizza's fantastic.
It's the best.
I'm not going to argue with anything you've just said in the past 4 seconds. I'm full agreement. Okay, 2 more to go. Last time Kelly was on the podcast, we did a pub game show. What did I call it?
Well, it was originally going to be called Laurie versus Laurie, wasn't it? Or something like that. Because Laurie didn't. One of the Lauries didn't turn up.
That makes it sound like Kelly was a last minute stand-in. We were going to have 2 of them.
Yeah.
We were going to have 2 of them, and one person pulled out of each, so we made it 1.
Yeah.
Don't make me seem like a bad guy. Like you just revealed that Kelly wasn't the first guest, and she only turned up because Laurie couldn't. Jesus.
That's true, though.
Surprise.
I apologise, Kelly.
So the name of the pub quiz.
The name of the game show. I don't think either of you are going to get it, are you?
No.
I called it Robbed because I stole all the ideas from other quiz shows.
Of course you did.
Right. So the final one is, admittedly, one of you has got a distinct advantage on this. Although, to be fair, she's shown me that it might not be the advantage I thought it would be when I wrote the questions. Which 3 toppings did Kelly say were on the nicest pizza?
Oh, my opinions change a lot in 2 years.
Well, I'm going to have a guess.
Oh, Baz is going first.
I'll just have a guess then. I'm going to go pepperoni, your much hated mushrooms, and Olives.
You got none out of 3.
Yay!
Wait, I'll eat mushrooms, don't like them on a pizza, hate olives, I think they're the spawn of the devil.
Agreed. That's another one. You've got 5. You've got 6
I
out
would've
of 5.
said-
5 out of 5 with 1 wrong.
Let's say sweet corn.
You did say sweet corn. You've got to get all 3 for the point, though.
Oh, I bet she said pineapple.
Pineapple?
She did say pineapple. You've got 1 more to get.
What I've said?
It's probably something ridiculous. Yeah.
What did you say, Kelly?
It's going to be either barbecue sauce or chicken.
It is one of those 2.
Is it? Barbecue sauce.
Oh no!
Technically, I said chicken first. Chicken.
I gave you
sweet
the
corn-
option, Kelly. I gave you the option and a massive clue.
I
Stop
had
thinking
confused
it's one of those 2.
exactly.
So, for those that didn't see the first episode that Kelly was on, and it's not on Facebook or on the audio, so you'll have to go over to the tube if you want to see it. It was you said that the nicest pizza is sweet corn, chicken, and pineapple.
Get in the bin, you.
He said.
And Baz said that's 3 things that should never be on a pizza, and he's got a point. But
No, I mean,
also,
it's not agree,
but
like,
also, Kelly, this one was live, and your actual husband said, "I've never known you order a pizza with pineapple on it in my entire life." And at the time, he'd been with you 12 years, so I'm presuming that's 14 now. And he's
is,
never
yeah.
seen you order a pizza with pineapple on, but you put
I
it
mean,
there.
That's a lie, because I definitely have. But the reason, I think the reason I gave them was because we share everything, and he refuses to have pineapple on a pizza, so I've never been able to order it on a pizza. But if someone walked in right now and put a sweet corn chicken and pineapple pizza in front of me, I would eat that up. So I definitely still agree with my decision on those toppings.
In summary, you're saying that your husband is a much better judge of pizza toppings than you are.
Yeah, probably.
Well, I'm going to edit that bit out. It's just going to
No.
it's just going to finish with just say yes. You're absolutely right. I'll find somewhere in this podcast you will have said yes. So I'm going to find that yes, and I'm going to edit it into you agreeing with what I just said. So
I was going to say, in fairness, I'd have that pizza, but I'd flick those 3 things off it.
yeah, exactly. I'd very quickly turn it into a margarita.
Yeah.
Right. So, look. Thank you so much for coming on,
thanks,
Kelly.
Kelly.
Really appreciate
Oh,
it.
I've loved it.
When I realised it was only about a week ago or 2 weeks ago that I realised that the 2-year anniversary of us starting this podcast was this weekend. And as soon as we did, I was like, right, well, we'll get the first guest we ever had on, and I forgot it was you. To be honest, I knew you were early doors, but I forgot you were the very, very first. But when I realised you were the very first, I was delighted because I haven't seen you or chatted to you for a long time, and I love you so much. I love your company, and I really enjoy spending time with you, even if it is over the internet. And I haven't seen you for ages, so it was so lovely to catch up again. And thanks for contributing. And you know what? You gave me this bullshit in a WhatsApp that people have seen where you think, I'm not going to be that interested. All 5 of your mildly controversial opinions were brilliant. So, as I say, just to reiterate, before we finish, you need to restart your podcast. You need to be your own first guest, and you need to talk about getting more self-confidence and stop second guessing yourself and talking yourself out of stuff.
Yeah, that is very good. Very good fun.
Also, I think I'm right in saying that Kelly's the first person to be on for 4 times.
Wow, that's I don't know what that's called. That's more than a hat trick.
Yeah.
So that's
I'm like a co-host.
Yeah, exactly.
well, you have actually been a standing co-host, so that's why Baz is Baz. For people who don't know, people who haven't noticed, Baz has looked a little bit edgy, and that's because there was a time when Baz couldn't make it, so Kelly jumped in as the standing co-host. So
sorry, that makes it 5.
I couldn't.
That makes it 5 instead.
It does make it 5.
Yeah.
I couldn't work out why Baz was looking a bit edgy tonight, but now I've realised. So
I
there it is.
More tattoos to be able to replace
That's it.
Baz. I'll get a few more tattoos. I'll be fine.
That's it. And stop threading your face. On that bombshell, that's the end of this week's show. Thank you so much for coming on, Kelly. Thanks again, Baz. And we will speak to you all next time. Thank you very much for being here. See you all next time.